Make sure you're in Photoshop. We're going to do a file open. And we're going to go find a image to play with. Or you can just do open. If you're already in Photoshop, do file open. Okay, we're going to all edit the same picture. So we're going to go to this PC. And we're going to go down to 704 video. And then digital media. So this PC, 704 video, digital media, and then all the way down we're looking for Justin Bieber. Excited about that one. So Justin Bieber, just the normal one, not the warped one, just the normal one. It's going to look like this. This is the young Justin Bieber, right? The young and innocent Justin Bieber.
I'm not seeing him.
Okay, whenever we, stay with me. You guys are chatty today. Whenever we start to edit a photo or edit anything, what do we want to do first? Do you remember? What is it?
That's a great question.
That's a great question. Who knows the answer? What do we do first? Not yet. That's a good answer, but not yet. Anybody know? Lydia know? What do we do first? What's that? Boom, nailed it. You knew the answer. So duplicate the background. So remember to do that, we're just going to take our background, we're going to drag it into the plus symbol. And that way, if we end up messing up our original, we can go back to that. So click and hold on your background, go down to the plus symbol. That's what we're going to edit on. We're going to edit on that background copy. Plus, we're going to use that in a little bit too for what we're creating. Okay, did you get that all right? Okay, now we're going to go up to filter. We're going to play with filters today. Go up to filter and filter gallery. Okay. Now this filter gallery, if you play with them, like we've got artistic, brushstroke, distorts, go ahead and open up those folders and just click on some of those options to see what kind of filters are out there to put on Justin. Okay, pick one you like.
They're all scary.
And then go over to the right and look at the properties. So pick one that you like on this one, and this is the palette knife. I can go and play with the stroke size over here. And you can fine tune however you want that to look. Okay, you can play with the detail. There's everyone has a different properties to it. Okay, good with that. Now look down here to the bottom right, you'll see I've got smudge stick on there now. This is actually a layer, so I can turn that on and off if I want to. But if I can go down, let's hit that plus sign down on the bottom, and you'll see that you can put you can actually put two filters on there. So now I could go and pick, if I want to do like a sketch, like a black and white sketch on that, then it's going to give me a whole different look to that. After all that work, go ahead and hit cancel. Okay? Oh, man. It'll get better. It'll get better. He's ugly again. That's horrible. Okay, I'm going to introduce a new tool to you. We're going to talk about a selection tool. You can select certain parts of your image, and you can affect just certain whatever parts you select. I'm just going to introduce it now just briefly, and then our next project we're going to do tons of selection stuff. So over on the left-hand side, you'll see we've got our move tool, which is the first one with the crosshairs. We've got 3 different types of selection tools. Go down to that third bottom one. You probably have the magic wand on there. So the magic wand has like little sparkles on it. It's either that or it's the object selection with a square on it. What we're looking for, okay, if you have the magnetic glass, what's the one under that? What we're looking for is click and hold. We're looking for the quick selection tool. It's a paintbrush with a little dotted circle around it. Did you find that one? Okay, so click on that. What we're going to do is we're going to select this whole background. This is a paintbrush. So if it's super tiny, you can increase the size of your paintbrush. To increase the size of your paintbrush, you can use your bracket keys next to the letter P. That'll make it bigger or smaller, or up on your toolbar, you've got, mine says 35, you got a little sizer there. What you're going to do is click and hold and push. And you're going to push the selection tool all around to select that, to select the background. So you can tell it's selected when you have the dotted line or the marching ants, whatever you want to call it, has selected that whole background. If you get too much, hold your Alt key down, and it turns your selection tool to a minus, and you can deselect some. So like if I went into his arm, if I hold the Alt key down, I'll get a minus sign, and then I can deselect his arm. Okay, did you get him selected okay?
Yeah.
Okay, now go back to your filter gallery. Let's watch what it does. So go back to filter, and then scroll down to filter gallery. So what's different about it this time?
It does it to the background.
Does it to the background, right? Does it to whatever you had selected. This is really what you'd use it more for than what we did before. You might put a filter, if you want to make like an old grainy looking picture, you might do that. But this would be better for like blurring out the background or doing something cool like this if you wanted people not to see it, or just give you that portrait type feel to it. So get it at some point that you'd like it. This time you're going to hit the OK button. But spice it up to get it how you want it.
Sure.
Now I need to get rid of the dotted line or the marching ants. To do that, that's a Control D. D stands for deselect. So I'm going to do a Control D. You could also go up to Select and do deselect up there if you had some stuff selected, but a Control D does that too. Okay. Now I want to do a before and after shot on this. So I want to see what we did before the original, so it shows the original, and then what we did after, so it shows the after shot. And we're going to use it we're going to do that by using both layers. If I turn off the one layer, if I hit the eyeball, you'll see my original in there. So what we want to do is we want to expand our canvas out so that we can move this layer, our manipulated layer over. So we're going to go up to Image, and we're going to do Canvas Size. Now image size would stretch the whole image. Canvas size is going to give us it's going to increase the size of our canvas to give us more painting space or working space. So we're going to do Image, Canvas Size. I'm going to change these, instead of pixels, let's change those to inches. It's a little bit easier to work with just in our head and with what we're going to do. So it gives me my height and my width. I want to expand my width out. I want to go this direction, and I'm going to double that because I want two of them. So I got this size plus I want another one. So what's my width? Just read it off, 8.15, right? So let's double that. We're going to double that. What's double that? 16 point, give me close. 16.3. 16.3. Okay. Now don't hit enter yet, because if I do that in the center, with the anchor in the center, that means it's going to start expanding right from the middle. It's going to go both directions. So it's going to give me a little bit on the right, a little bit on the left. Let's put the anchor on that middle left. That way it's going to push everything to the right. So anchor on that middle left, and then hit OK. And it should look like this. Now grab your Move tool, and then just drag this picture over, and it should snap into position. So now you've got your before and your after shot. And you're going to do this with your project today too.
I knew that.
Okay, let's do it one more time. We're going to open up Justin again. So do a File Open. But this time we're going to get Justin warped. So scroll down. It's in the same location. It's under the other one. And look for Justin warped, Justin Bieber warp. Okay. When we open that one, that's going to actually give us two documents open. So we have two images. There's two tabs at the top. Okay, what's the first thing I'm going to do? What is it? Yep, duplicate your background. So duplicate your background again. Make sure you're on background copy. That's when we're going to edit. This time we're going to go up to Filter again, but we're going to select Liquify on this one. So select Liquify. You'll like this one.
Oh my God.
And then we're going to start with all of these options down the left-hand side. Let's start with the top left and do forward warp. What Liquify does is it actually turns all of your pixels into like liquid paint. So just try it. Take that forward warp and just come out here and start pushing. Now this is a brush again, so you can increase the size of your brush. It doesn't give you the options to increase it. Actually, it's over here. Brush tool, option size on the right. Or you can use your brackets too if you need a bigger brush. If you get too crazy with it, down on the bottom right, like if it just gets too like crazy, like you're all over the place, you can do two things. The next tool down will actually reconstruct. And so then I can start pushing, and you start pushing tools, and it starts going back. Okay? Or if I go to the bottom right after all those properties, you'll see when it says reconstruct. If I hit reconstruct, that puts you back to square. Actually, it's restore all. I hit the wrong one. Restore all will do the same thing. Okay, this one's fun now. Go down the left-hand side. You'll see 3 of them. So it goes like reconstruct, there's a minus sign, then there's one that says twirl, pucker, and bloat. So you got to play with those. The twirl is going to do what it says, it just twirls the pixels. And then the pucker one does exactly what it says. Like if I put it over his mouth, it actually puckers him up. And then the bloat's going to go the other direction. The bloat's going to...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me show you 2 things. Over on the left-hand side, there's a freeze and an unfreeze. This one's kind of cool. If you want to make a spot that you don't touch, the freeze, like I could come out here and I could freeze his face and it kind of paints over it. And so then I could go crazy with my pixels and it'll touch everything but what I froze.
Where's the freeze?
It's the second one down. It's like right in the middle. There's like an eraser one, look like, and then a brush one. And then if I unfreeze it, that's actually a thaw. I can unthaw it, and I can do more with that too. What do you think this is used for? Like, what would you really use this for in real life?
Instagram photos.
Instagram photos?
Yeah.
Okay, you're on the right track, yeah. Yeah. Any type of models, anybody that you want to look good. Like you could shave off pounds, you could do whatever. I mean, you could change hair, you could do whatever you want with that.
Cost money.
Yes.
How much?
Yeah, we'll talk to you about it. Okay. So that's how you would thin it out. In fact, if you restore all of those on the bottom right, and then there's one over here that has a picture of a face. There's a face tool. That'll actually find his face, and then if I click on the nose or his mouth, I can actually grab some of those points, and you can stretch and shape his face to make it look thinner and bigger lips or whatever you want. Does it let you rotate the mouth? It does.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, that's crazy.
Now it just looks weird.
What have I done? Good question. Not enough.
But that's just those fine-tuning things on a face that you know is happening in magazines.
Oh, goodness.
Now we want a before and after shot. So we're going to do the before Justin and then the after, the touched up Justin. So what am I going to go to? Remember?
Your back.
Well, it's one of my tools up here. Remember we did that? Because you're going to do this today. Up to image and canvas size. So image, canvas size. What am I going to double? Am I doubling my height? Nope, then it's going to go up and down, right? I'm going to double my width. Image, canvas size, double your width. So that's at 16.3 again, because it's the picture we used. Oh, this is what happens if you don't do the anchor point. Yep, so Control Z that, and then do it again. Image, canvas size. I'm going to do inches down on the bottom, so 16.3. So here's your anchor. Anchor down here, I'm going to put it on the left, so that means it pushes it all the way to the right, because I only changed my width. So I'm going to hit OK, and that's going to push that to the right. Then I can move my before, and I've got my after shot right there. Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to do 2 pictures today. You're going to do one with filters, and you're going to do one with Liquify. So the one with filters, and it can be anything you want. You can do a filter and just get a cool, just a picture and do some cool stuff with like a scenery, or you can do people. So that's one. You're going to do before and after shot on that, and you can read this on, it'll be on the instructions too. Then the other one's going to be a Liquify. Same thing, you can make it serious, or you can take somebody's picture and just go crazy with it. But just don't like give me this liquefied mess. Do something fun with it and give me a before and after picture with it. Okay, so two different pictures, 2 different techniques. Questions? Go for it, it's all you.